So you want to sell your house for top dollar. Presentation of that home needs to be focus number one, then followed by the price point. In my last video, I actually spoke how price and presentation outweigh good marketing as well as market conditions. You need to be able to look at the data, position yourself correctly, but have a really good presented home for those who might be interested so that you can gain some activity within those first 2 weeks. There is a whole psychology behind marketing your property online with good presentation skills. So in today's video, I'm going to go over my 10 rules that I share with my clients to help them be as successful as possible and give them the most amount of confidence going into this shifting market. Let's get into it. So we have a 3-phase approach to the strategy. And that first phase is the purge phase. And that's quite obvious. For the most part, a lot of real estate agents state that you need to depersonalize your house. When it comes to selling your home, you want to sell a neutral space. You want to remove all the photos of the family. You want to remove all the certificates. You want to remove all the religious items. You want to remove everything that might stir up an emotion for that buyer that connects them with you on an emotional level rather than the home itself. Second, you actually want to make sure that you're looking at the 50% capacity of certain areas. So you're looking at your garage, your closets, your pantry. Don't stuff these things full trying to hide stuff. Your fridge, as an example, as people open the fridge, but you want to make sure that you're decluttering those items. You're selling the space of your pantry. You're selling the space of your garage. Even your closet could actually say a lot about you, right? If you have a lot of things, it adds up to this emotional decision that buyers typically go through. Now, the third in this first phase is the micro maintenance sweep. Now, personal experience over my career as a real estate agent, I have helped people go through lots of homes. And it's typically the homes that have a lot of little things that are, they're kind of annoying, they're not bad, that add up to a bigger issue than that one blatantly obvious thing that you need to do, like replace a furnace, a hot water tank, or a window, right? If there's a lot of little things that are noticeable for when people walk through the property, right? Maybe your oven's not clean. Maybe your hot water tank has some scale. Maybe your humidifier has some scale down the side of it. Maybe there's some things that you've ignored, like some patches or some stains in your ceiling, right? A lot of little things that you don't really think are that important, but add up to a bigger picture, typically turn people off from that property. So although it could be little mundane things and kind of annoying, it's actually really important that you go through and fix a lot of those little checkmark items so that when somebody walks through your home, they don't have little negative after little negative. They can see some of the great features about your property and focus on those and not have to worry about all the little things that have been left behind. Now, the second phase of the 3-phase strategy is looking at the stage. We have cleaned the home, we've decluttered the home, and now we need to try to shift our focus to more buyer profile or demographic, right? And step 4 would actually be single identity rooms. Looking at the individual rooms that are currently offered in your property and making them better reflect that buyer profile that we're trying to target. So instead of a bedroom, maybe it's better to do an office. Maybe instead of a workout gym in the basement, maybe you do a rec room. Instead of a bedroom in the basement, maybe we do a study or a nook of some sort to try to better reflect that buyer profile. If you have, very loud colors or wall color, right? Maybe it's best to remove that to be more of a neutral space for that buyer profile that we're trying to target. Now, step 5 actually would kind of one-up that and look at the Kelvin Light Audit. Looking at how, the different color lights are reflecting in your house. You might not realize this because you've lived in the home for so long, but having something that's a little bit more warm or daylight focused might actually be the play for the demographic you're targeting. So going through and changing out some LEDs to better match the other LEDs within your area. So going through and doing the review is very important in that sense. Now, one other thing to consider, I guess you would just say step 6, is how nose blind you probably are in your own home. Having someone come in and smell different smells is an instant turnoff, right? You smell cigarette smoke, pets, cats and dogs, right? Babies, right? Just mess and musty smells. These things play a huge part into the quick decision making of how someone's going to feel about your home. Just like the micro maintenance step that we talked about, the nose is a huge indicator as to how comfortable someone's going to feel. Use some Febreze, scrub down your walls, bake some cookies that day, light a candle, do something that's going to actually help reflect how comfortable someone is in your space. Now, step 7 is actually right on top of that, and that's the entryway. Looking at exactly how someone is going to spend that first 10 to 20 seconds stepping into your home. Do they see a mess? Do they see kitty litter? Do they smell good things? Do they see cleanliness? Do they see stains, right? Having that first initial step in is so important to making sure that they find comfort throughout the home. If you instantly start off on the wrong foot, it's an uphill battle. But if you can actually think about how they're stepping into your property for those first 15 seconds, you are setting yourself up for success. All right, so the third phase of the 3-phase strategy is the capture. Now that we've cleaned the home, we've thought about the things that we need to do for each individual showing. Now we need to capture all of that and put it online as good marketing. Obviously, step 8 is going to include professional photography. Don't go through there with your iPhone, even though iPhones take really good photos nowadays, as well as other smartphones. It doesn't beat a professional touch and editing that's going to capture the best possible picture. Now, it's not just the photos, it's the sequence of the photos. I don't understand why people don't think about this more often. When you're going on the MLS and you're looking through photos online, it is so important that you sequence them in a way that walks them through the property. Have a photo, reference another photo, and then reference back to another photo by kind of going through different, areas of the room and thinking about how someone would actually walk through that property while they really quickly click through the next photo, right? It's so important to actually have some of the most important photos at the beginning that capture the biggest, best features. But then when you go back to that more kind of mundane photos of the home, you're starting at a point and then you're going around the property. I personally find that that's one of the best approaches to having a more, enjoyable viewer experience as a buyer online. Now, step 9, it should be mandatory, right? It's a 2-screened approach. It's actually a 3-screened approach where, yeah, the photos make sense. We need to have professional photos, but you should also have a video, right? It's so easy to go and just walk around your property with your camera, with a gimbal or by your hand, and do a very basic property walkthrough. And then just put some music over it. It doesn't need to be anything special. Do one video on landscape, do one video on portrait, put both videos on some sort of Google Drive or some sort of, easy accessible link so that when people are looking at your property online, they can then go and watch it on a video. And if they're on their phone, they can watch it on portrait. If they're on their computer or TV, they can watch it on a landscape, right? Go and actually use this 3-screen approach, your photos, your portrait, and your landscape video to get the most amount of reaction or attention for someone who's actually looking at your photos or property online. Now, the final stage is something that is fairly new, right? It's that 30-second hook, and that comes with the description. So a lot of people know what SEO is, search engine optimization. But over the last 3 to 4 years, we have now seen AI, and now we're looking at AEO, answer engine optimization. And that's where it comes into play, where you don't need to just list the features and benefits of your description, because that's already in the basic MLS write-up. Now you need to speak to the specific demographic of buyer who's interested in that property. And that's where it gets unique, because you are trying to speak directly to that person you're trying to target and share with them the lifestyle that they're going to achieve and what they're going to experience when moving them to that community. So instead of listing off the features and benefits, yeah, it's nice to have some years that these things were done, but try to speak to them directly and share with them the reasons as to why they're going to like this home or the lifestyle that they're going to achieve in this specific area. So if you take your time, you look at your price, you look at your presentation, you look at your buyer profile, you look at your price bracket, and you consider all of these things before you go on the MLS, it's very likely you're gonna find success going on the market. Take your time, do the research, and try to remove yourself from the equation and look at it as a buyer would look at it. My name's Adam Fife. There's a lot of contact information down below. If you want to know what your home is valued at anywhere across Canada, the link's in the description. Do not hesitate to reach out and ask some questions. But in next video, we're actually going to go over the entire selling process, another 10-step process, showing you how to sell a property that if you want to do it on your own, you should be able to do it without a real estate agent. So my name's Adam Fife, your Calgary Realtor. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.